London is standing at a turning point unlike anything in its modern history. Over the next decade, more than £150 billion will be spent on a collection of megaprojects, so large that they will reshape the capital in ways not seen since the Victorian age. New high-speed railways are being drilled beneath ancient hills. Giant road tunnels are planned under the Thames. Entire districts are being redesigned around futuristic stations. And even the city's electrical veins are being rebuilt deep underground. Supporters describe this as the birth of a smarter, greener, better connected metropolis. Critics fear it could become one of the most expensive mistakes Britain has ever made. By the year 2030, London will discover whether it chose vision or vanity. HS2, Britain's high-speed backbone. At the center of this gamble stands HS2, Britain's first true high-speed railway. Beneath the rolling landscape of the Chiltern Hills, tunnel boring machines the size of apartment blocks are grinding through chalk and clay to create a new national spine. When finished, trains will travel at up to 360 kilometers per hour, cutting the journey between London and Birmingham to little more than 40 minutes. The official promise is that HS2 will free space on overcrowded classic lines, move thousands of lorries off the roads, and reconnect cities that have drifted apart over decades. The dream was once even bigger. Planners imagined a Y-shaped network stretching north to Manchester and Leeds, transforming the economic geography of the entire country. But reality intervened. Costs rose, governments changed, and political enthusiasm faded. The northern legs were cancelled, leaving a shortened route focused mainly on the southern section. For many observers, that decision turned HS2 from a national project into a London-centric one, and the debate has never truly recovered. Despite the controversy, construction has advanced at breathtaking scale. More than 70% of the tunnels on the first phase are already complete, and factories across Britain are assembling a fleet of sleek new trains built by Alstom and Hitachi. These trains will run at high speed on dedicated lines, but can also continue onto existing tracks to reach cities beyond Birmingham. Engineers describe it as building two railways in one. Yet the numbers tell a harsher story. What began as a £33 billion scheme in 2012 has swollen to over £100 billion in today's prices. The opening date has slipped from 2026 to beyond 2033 with no fixed end in sight. For supporters, the delays are painful but temporary. For critics, they are proof that the project should never have started. Old Oak Common, a new heart for West London. HS2 is not only about trains. It is also about remaking parts of London that most people never noticed before. The clearest example is Old Oak Common, a once-forgotten industrial zone in West London. Within a few years, it will host one of the largest stations in Europe, where HS2 meets the Elizabeth Line, Heathrow services, and national rail routes. Planners expect tens of thousands of new homes, offices, and research centers to rise around it, creating a brand new urban quarter almost from nothing. Studies predict an economic boost of around £10 billion over the coming decade. Euston Tunnels and the future terminus. To bring high-speed services into the heart of the capital, engineers are building the Euston Old Oak Common Tunnel, a twin pair of bores stretching 4.5 miles under some of the densest neighborhoods in Britain. Two gigantic tunnel boring machines, each nearly 200 meters long and weighing more than 1,200 tons, will crawl forward meter by meter while lining the tunnel with concrete rings. The operation is so complex that entire factories have been built underground to support it. But uncertainty still surrounds Euston Station itself. Parts of the work have slowed as budgets tighten, and the government now plans to create a special development company to oversee the site, possibly using a public-private partnership. Trains may reach Old Oak Common years before they ever reach central London. The station is meant to become more than a terminus. It is supposed to grow into a new district of parks, offices, and housing. Whether that vision survives the budget battles ahead remains unclear. Before we continue, if you enjoy this video, drop a like and subscribe. More mega projects coming up. West London Orbital, connecting the suburbs. While HS2 focuses on long-distance travel, another idea aims to rethink movement inside the capital. The West London Orbital would transform underused freight lines into a new overground route, linking suburbs such as Cricklewood, Harlesden, Neasden, and Hounslow. The brilliance of the plan lies in its connection to Old Oak Common. Suddenly, hundreds of thousands of residents would be able to reach HS2 and the Elizabeth Line without first traveling into central London. Transport authorities estimate 450,000 additional people could access the hub within an hour, reducing car dependency and opening new job markets. Yet the orbital line has no secured funding, and recent budgets offered no commitment. Local councils continue to push, arguing that modest investment could deliver huge social benefits. For now, the project waits behind more urgent priorities. DLR extension to Thamesmead, ending 60 years of isolation. Further east lies a community that shows what happens when transport is ignored. Thamesmead, built in the 1960s, has grown to more than 50,000 residents without a direct rail link. That isolation is finally ending with the Docklands Light Railway extension approved in 2025. A new tunnel under the Thames will connect Beckton Riverside to Thamesmead, adding 2 new stations and slashing journey times to Canary Wharf and the city. Planners believe the line will unlock 25,000 to 30,000 new homes and transform neglected waterfront land into thriving neighborhoods. The cost, between £700 million and £1.7 billion, is small compared with HS2, but enormous for local residents. Construction should begin in 2028 with trains running in the early 2030s. For Thamesmead, this is a chance to join the economic life of London at last. London Power Tunnels, the Invisible Revolution. Not all of London's transformation can be seen. Beneath parks and streets, the London Power Tunnels are quietly rewriting the city's electrical map. Phase 1 buried 32 kilometers of high-voltage cables between Wimbledon and Hackney. Phase 2, nearing completion, adds another 32.5 kilometers across South London. These tunnels will carry the power needed for electric vehicles, heat pumps, and data centers. The genius of the scheme is its invisibility. By placing cables deep underground, National Grid can upgrade the network without tearing up roads. In a future where electricity demand could double, this hidden infrastructure may prove as important as any railway. Lower Thames Crossing, Britain's biggest road tunnel. East of the capital, the Dartford Crossing carries around 160,000 vehicles every day and regularly grinds to a halt. The answer is the Lower Thames Crossing, the largest road tunnel project Britain has ever attempted. The plan is a 14.3-kilometer route including twin tunnels more than 6 kilometers long, connecting Kent and Essex and creating a new eastern bypass for London. The budget has climbed to £10.6 billion, with construction expected to begin in 2026. Supporters claim it could cut peak journey times by up to 40 minutes and reduce congestion by 40%. Tunnel bores over 16 meters wide will carry 3 lanes in each direction, among the largest in Europe. But environmental groups warn the scheme will encourage more car use, just as Britain promises to cut emissions. Across all these projects runs a common thread: the belief that infrastructure can change destiny. Advocates say London must build boldly or risk decline. Overcrowded trains, unreliable power, and unaffordable housing could erode its global status. Opponents counter that Britain repeatedly underestimates costs and overestimates benefits. By 2030, the first HS2 trains should be running. Old Oak Common will be taking shape, and work on the Lower Thames Crossing and DLR extension will be visible across the region. Some dreams will come true. Others may fade into compromise. London has chosen transformation over caution. History will judge whether that choice was vision or overreach. For now, cranes fill the skyline and tunnels grow beneath the streets. The only real question remains: are we building the city of tomorrow, or the most expensive warning story of the century?